Today marks 2 years since a police officer shot and killed John Crawford inside the Beaver Creek Walmart. It was reported he was holding a real rifle. It turned out to be a BB gun from the store shelf.
And 2 years later, no one has ever been charged in the incident, and the investigation remains open. Natalie Tendall with Tunis Investigates is asking, what is taking so long?
John Crawford's family says no one is being held accountable in their son's death, and it's been 2 years. One of the biggest pieces they've been waiting for is the Department of Justice investigation.
I think it's absolutely inexcusable that after 2 years they can't come out with some findings.
2 years have passed and still not a word from the Department of Justice on their independent review of the John Crawford case. It all started when he made a trip to Walmart in Beaver Creek. As seen on security footage, he takes a call and starts walking around the store, picking up a BB gun from one of the shelves. Someone sees him and calls 911, assuming it's a real gun. Police respond. Officer Sean Williams and Sergeant David Darko find Crawford. According to police reports, the officers confronted him, demanding he drop his weapon. Seconds later, he was shot by Williams. Both officers saying he did not obey their commands. It was later discovered it was a BB gun. The incident brought national attention to the Miami Valley town, with protesters saying officers didn't give Crawford time to react and they didn't need to shoot him. A grand jury declined to bring any charges, but the Department of Justice said they would look into the incident. That was in September of 2014, and we haven't heard from them since.
I can't imagine why it's taken over 2 years for the Justice Department of the United States, with all their resources, to not be able to come up with some type of resolution.
UD law professor Thomas Hagel says this should have been a straightforward case. There's video and not that many witnesses. He can see how the delay is frustrating those in the community.
Where there's members of this community that think that there's all sorts of conspiracies to hide things and whatever, and all this does, by the delay, it just feeds that.
Tunis Investigates found the DOJ has opened and closed similar cases, such as with Michael Brown. He was fatally shot by an officer in Ferguson, Missouri, after Crawford was shot. Hagel says the amount of recent incidents involving black men and police officers could play into the delay.
So what do you think is taking so long?
The tone of the country, in the sense of the anger that's out there toward the system, and the lack of unity among various groups, I think that would feed into this thing.
Tunis Investigates contacted the Department of Justice to see where the investigation stands and what's the holdup. We were told they can't comment on an ongoing investigation. We checked and found both officers involved in the shooting at Walmart still work for the Beaver Creek Police Department. Officer Williams, who fired that fatal shot, is still on administrative duty pending the outcome of this DOJ investigation. Hagel says he hopes there's a decision soon to give some closure to the community.
Regardless of what the resolution is, there's going to be people who will disagree with it for various reasons, but at least there will be a resolution, and you can move on past that.
Now, I did request an interview with the Beaver Creek Police Chief, but he denied it at this time because their department is still in a civil lawsuit with Crawford's family. I was told that the Beaver Creek Police Department has recently been reaccredited, which means they've had to re-examine all aspects of the agency, including use of force and training of personnel. Natalie Tendall, 2 News Investigates.